Hello everybody, how are you today? I am making a book for my daughter, as you can see, watercolour book for your daughter, Jennifer, with a love heart and a smiley face, so she must really want it. And she's sitting across from me, so she's giggling. You really want this watercolour book, don't you, Jennifer?
Of course I do. It was made by you.
So, other way around. It's just using an old library book, and I've just got the thick paper in there, which is 300 GSM, so you can only have 2 sheets per signature. And I thought that I would do one on camera. You can follow along if you've got an old book that you want to make into a watercolour book or sketchbook, ideas book, whatever, with a lot thicker paper. Okay, so let's pop you over there. Some things I've already prepared. So the first thing we're going to do is I just collect these from my local library when they have them in the Adopt Me trolley, and we're going to take off the dust jacket. Throw that away. So first of all, I have to gut it, and how are we going to go? This one's going to be a bit difficult because I'm going to have to pull it away from the spine because it's not loose like. I grabbed an old book here. When you open the old book, you could stick your finger down there because it's not the book block is not adhered to the spine. This is a newer book, of course, and so they are starting to, but it doesn't mean you can't use it. So if you're very gentle in a very rough way, you can get it out. So I'm going to, once you start to break that first bit of glue, you can see that the end paper and the first page, I've taken that over and I'm able to get into that spine area. So, and I'm very gently, because I don't want to cut the gutter of the spine of the cover, so we're just easing it away. Gently with the strength of an Iron Man or Superman, whoever. There we go. Lord, we've got it. So luckily, when they use it, they don't use the best glue, so this paper just all comes off. Right, so to the back, same, the end paper, those pages that are stuck, and we should be able to pull it back and expose it. Ugh. I haven't had my Weet-Bix for breakfast. Had a smoothie. Oh, there we go, got it. Right, and then I'm going to flip those out because all of that's going to be covered up. I keep their blank pages because I'll print or stamp on them. They're good when you're doing bits and pieces. So, oh good, this goes into my recycle pile. I end up having quite a lot of them when I'm doing a workshop and doing all of these for a workshop. But now, you might think I'm mad, but I keep these bits because these, I've got a hot tin. They make really good bits and pieces for clusters. Plus I also keep the header tape because when you make a book either from scratch, or you can either put it back in, or a book from scratch, you've got some header tape because, there it is. because that's actually really expensive to buy. And I don't even know where. I'd have to order it online because I couldn't get it anywhere here. So I keep all of those for little embellishment, especially the in the older books when you've got this webbing that's cute under a little cluster. Anywho, we digress. So that goes in my pile. So when I get too many of those, the book blocks for recycling, and my husband uses them for to start the fire at the combustion heater. Right. Okay, so I'm just trimming these pieces next to the gutter just to get some of that excess off and where it's loose. Careful when you cut it out because you don't want to cut the spine of the cover. Okay. So first thing, I've got this tape. I got it from Officeworks here in Australia. I think you can get it from Amazon and probably other stationery packing places. But it's a brown packing tape, and I'm not sure if you can see, but it's got, see those lines? That's fiberglass in there, so it makes it really strong. I'm just going to pop it over the spine because, of course, we've taken the book out and all of that other paper, and now it's weakened, very weak, so I'm putting it in there to strengthen, because while this is really great, I've taken all of that out, that's going to become really loose and floppy and it'll tear. So this is water activated. I've got a baby wipe. You can just rub the baby wipe, or you can spray a bit of water. I don't really want to spray too much water, so I don't want things to get wet. But and once it's wet, it's really, really sticky. So right, let's pop that down the centre there. You can see that I cut it as the same height as the end papers. I'm going from the center. I'm using my thumbnail to get into that gutter of the spine, and then if there's any bits that, nope, all wet. If any bit was sticking up, I'll just pull that up, and you can just get under there with your baby wipe and it'll stick down. So that's all good. Now that will all be covered up. Just put that over there. Let me show you. You don't see that because we put some fabric over the top, and it's not. It's simply there just to help make it strong. It's going to be really hard to rip because of the fibre glass that is threaded through the paper. Okay, so that's all we're going to do with that part. We're going to get on with the pages. Oops. So they have to dry. Now, here's some I prepared earlier. So I've already cut my end. I'll just tell you that before I go on. I've cut my end papers to size, so they'll go over there. This is the fabric my daughter's chosen. A little bit big at the moment, but that's okay. So that will end up being, so when you open your book, the pages will be here, that you'll see those little bits. So none of this is going to be seen. This is just scrapbooking, old scrapbook paper. Right. So my pages are, they're A4, oh, here's my ruler. And I've just folded them in half. So when you're folding, especially really thick paper like this, which is 300 GSM, you fold it and you start with your bone folder in the center and out. Because if you start here and go along, you're likely to warp the paper, and you won't have a nice fold where the four corners, not two, meet. So from the center out, center out. I've done that to all. We're going to have 5 signatures, and as I said, this paper is so thick I can only have 2 sheets per signature. Now, I don't know if you can see, when I put one inside the other, it sticks out about 1/8 of an inch. Can you see that? We need to trim it down. So I'm going to trim, first of all, I'm going to trim the top one so that it is going to sit in my book and be the perfect width. And then if I put this one on top, you'll see I've made it about, like 1/16 of an inch, like 1 millimeter shorter, so that when it goes inside here, all the edges are nice and flush. So we'll do that with this one. Now, because this paper is so thick, you have to go really slowly. If you don't think your trimmer's going to do both, do it one at a time. I've made a pencil mark on my little guillotine here, and I'm going slowly, and I'm really holding it so that it doesn't slip, because, it has a habit of that. Now, this is the inside one. So I'm going to my mark, and then I'm just coming in that like 1 mil, or like 1/16 of an inch. Ooh. And now, nice and flush. Out of the way. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures. They're going to fit in here nicely. Yep. So see, that's going to be perfect. So now is the time. We have to make a template, and we're going to be, I don't know if you can see, where's the inside. I'm not doing a pamphlet stitch. I've just got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, big gap in the middle. And this way we can sew all of the signatures onto our material and our template. We can change thread if we need to. And yes, all will be good. So I'm going to get a piece of, use this. This will work because it's one of the old pages. Of course, it is exactly the right height, and you can see that it's the same height as the slightly shorter. Which is fine. Okay, I'm going to fold that so I can have a center line. Now my spine is, measure from this side, it's 2.5 centimeters, or what's that, 1 inch. Okay, so I need, this is where a centering ruler is really awesome. You've got one, pencil, pen, anything will do. What did we say? Well, go in inches. So funny. And I'm going to, how far did I come down? Came down about 1/4 of an inch. No, actually 1/2 inch. We'll come down 1/2 inch, about there. 1/2 inch from the bottom. There. And how long did I make my little hole? 2 inches. So let's do that first, shall we? 2 inches. So this is, I'm doing these marks on that center fold, and that will be the middle signature. Remember, there's 5 signatures, so I need to come out either side. Now we know that it's an inch, so if I mark 1/2 inch on each side, that's the width of my spine. So we need 2 on that side and 2 on that side. So we can just, you know, there's no right or wrong. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. So that's 3/8 of an inch. 3/8, and that just gives a little bit in near where the gutter is. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, do that at the bottom, and we can put a line down. It's our center. This is where our other holes will be poked for sewing. Right, bit of your water out of the way. Water on everything. Don't need those, don't need that, don't need you. Might need you, but you're not very far away if I do. Okay, first thing we're going to do is use our punching cradle. My darling husband makes these for me, and I sell them during my workshops. And all you can use, this is my Sizzix. Oh, it's a Tim Holtz one. You know, when you use your die, it's been very well used. Look at it, it's all starting to fall apart, but that will work as well if you've already got one. Or this one is from, oh, that's a Sizzix one as well. Same. This is same. This is the one, the like birch sewing from Spotlight. You can pick those up for about $6, or you can get these really, the mother of alls. Now the way my husband makes these punching cradles only comes down a little bit, because if you use an awl like this and you've got a really big space, you get really massive holes. So yeah, that's why I prefer to use these finer ones in my workshops. This is still okay for here because the hole's not going to be so big, but we'll just use this one today. Now I like to do mine, oh, first of all, always write that way. You're going to punch all of these the same. So this is going to get put on the back of the fabric as our sewing guide, but I'm also going to use it as a punching template. So right there. Make sure the pages are flush with the top, and in the center, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're okay, Jennifer. put that there. Make sure you leave the tops up so that they're all the same. It's okay. You can blow your nose, my darling. It's all right. 2, 3, 4. You could line all of your signatures inside each other, but the more pages you've got, the bigger the holes are, because even this final goes out, and so then you end up with like really big holes, and then your pages wobble around because the hook, the thread is finer than the holes. We don't want wobbly pages, do we? No. So that's it for the punching cradle. And you can see that they're all lined nicely together. Okay, and that's my top. So I'm going to leave that at the top while we do the next part. So I need to get my fabric, and I need it to be the right size. So mine, Jennifer, I've got mine at the bottom is flush, and at the top it comes up a little bit. Do you want it like that, or would you like it flush at both ends?
No, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you just heard, I was conferring with the recipient of said book, and
Paying
she's...
lots of money for this.
You are. Double, actually. Double 0 is still 0. So Jennifer, we're going to have the fabric lined up with the bottom. Now, you can either trim this so that your fabric is flush with the top, or you heard me ask Jennifer and she wants that little bit hanging over, which we will end up ruffling, undoing the thread. What I need to do is put this face down so that I need to find the center. I'm just going to finger press to find the center of the fabric. Pop that there with my pencil. Pop that, and I'm going to I'm bringing the line, I'll use the see-through ruler so you can see it, of the top of the pages. You see, I'm lining up with the end papers on the cover, and I'm just going to put a line there, because that is where, my friends, we are going to stick this piece of paper. I'm going to line up that center crease with the center finger press. Of course, I need to trim this down because it's way too big. We don't need that much, and it's just easy. Hold on, let's go that way so we can not cut off our lines. I'm going to cut it we know that it's 1 inch, and I'm just going to cut it a little bit wider because it won't hurt. So I'm actually cutting it, so it's cut, it's on the, I don't even know what line that is. It's not quite 3/4 of an inch. Right. And I am just going to do that again so I can see the line. And this is going to get glued on there. Okay. I want something that's going to dry quickly. Excuse me, Jennifer, could you give me in the top or second of the little sewing machine drawers, there's the fabric glue stick. Thanks. Thank you, my darling. So this is just a fabric glue stick. I usually use it when I'm wilting, but it'll work perfectly for this. So, and it dries quickly, and it's not all, if I use a wet glue, it's going to all seep through the fabric. I'm going to have to wait for it to dry, and we don't want that. So this is only just to hold it in place. It doesn't really need to be completely stuck because it's just a sewing guide. Right, so we are going to begin. We need a needle. We need some wax. We need some thread, and we've got white pages. We'll just stick with the white thread, I think. This is just crochet cotton, and the beauty of this book is that you can just join very easily, so you don't even have to worry about some of those. I've got these massive big paper clips, or you could use bulldog clips, big ones. First of all, I'm going to run my thread through the beeswax. This, apart from conditioning the thread, it helps so that it doesn't unravel. It keeps the pages yes, it makes a good sound, doesn't it, Jennifer? I just want that wax on there. Just gives it it just doesn't unravel, so it's good. Right. So first thing I am going to do, just to make it easier for myself, is to just punch these holes. Well, I don't need to do the second one, of course. The middle one, it's already punched. Okay, that's so dark you can't, I can feel that I've punched, but I can't even see where the holes are, but that's okay. We don't need to see it on that side. So this is at the back. The pages are going to be sewn on that side, okay? Right, so I like to, now there's no right or wrong, but I like to start from the back signature, the one that's going to be at the back of the book, which on here would be here. But you can, with this way of sewing, you can start at the front as well. But now I'm going to bring my needle through. This is very simple. It's almost just like running stitch, in, out, in, out, in, out. We do tie off the I was using my thumb then to feel where I'd put the hole through the... I'm going to leave myself about 20, 25 centimetres there. I'm actually going to use a... Have I got a small... Yes, I have. I'm just going to use a small bulldog clip just to hold that so that it doesn't, you know, if I pull it, I don't pull it all the way out, because that would just be annoying. There we go. There, and then back out through this one. Like I said, I'm using my thumb to feel where the hole. Okay, and that's our signature at the back. So then we get our next one here. This is where these start to come in handy. So I can like this. We're going to go, sorry, turn that over, through the second hole, through the pre-punched holes of the book. And out that one. And now that we're back at the top where we started from the first signature, I'm actually going to tie it off. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to unclip that. I'm going to pull them both nice and taut. Might just open it out like that so it's nice and flat. And pull that one, pull this one, and I'm going to tie these. Now this is a knot that my grandfather taught me, so I'm just tying it once, and then when you do this second one you go through twice. So can you see I've got 2 loops there, making sure that's nice and tight. Pull that down. Now that won't come undone, and we can trim that after. You can see they're nice and tight. We're going to keep on sewing up and down, but when we sew the next one, get to the bottom, we're actually going to knot it with a half hitch loop through that loop. We'll do that one and then I'll speed up the rest of the process. Okay. Attach this here. So each time you go at the top or the bottom, you're going to knot it with the previous, like the loop there. It just secures each signature in. And can I feel that knot? No, I can't. There we go. Hopefully there. So when you do that knot, you've got to make sure that you're sewing your running stitch in and out of the signatures is tight, because if it isn't tight and you knot it off, then it's going to, that one doesn't. Now if you do what I've just done there, I've gone to go through and it's not coming through that hole. Just come in, you can see where it is, and give it another little poke with your awl just to reopen that hole, because the paper relaxes as it's sitting there, and so sometimes the hole closes back up. Okay, so now I'm back at the other end, at the bottom in this case. I'm going to pull that. See, can you see how much that moved then? Make sure it's nice and tight, and then with my needle I'm coming under this loop and I'm going to go through that. Oops, I think I just undid it. Oh, here, Wally Mandy. 1, 2. Okay, so this is nice and tight, pulling it over, pulling that there nice and tight, and then I'm ready to go through and put the next one in. So the next part is going to be sped up until I get to the end. Okay, see you there. Okay, I've got to the end, the last one. You saw that I knotted as I got to the each end. These are nice, and you can see that one is still needs to be pulled tighter. Last one, I'm going to do two and knot that nice and tight. And just because it's the last one, I'm not that it needs it, but I'm just going to do a second knot. Okay, we can trim that nice, and I like to just leave about 1 centimetre or 1/4 of an inch, just so that it doesn't come undone. Put your needles straight back in the tin because they always get lost. Okay, so there is our book block ready to rock and roll, and the pages are nice and tight, plus they also will, even when they're in there, they'll open flat. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is some gluing. Now, just because it's going to be a book that's opened and closed, you can either use your art glitter or the Aleene's tacky glue or whatever white glue you like. I just like to just put a little along where the holes are. I'm not wanting this to come through the holes into the book, but it's just to hold that bit of the thread. It's just an extra layer of protection. There we go. Right, that can dry. So, we're nearly there. That should go that way because that's the way it goes. So this is now going to get stuck in here, and then we will, I stick the spine first, and then we do the flaps of material, and once the flaps are done, then we put the end papers on over the top, and your book's done, apart from decoration and writing or painting on the cover, whatever you like to do. So I'm just going to use the tacky glue. Like I said, any white glue will be fine. You want to be generous because you don't want your book to fall apart. Now I have a, here we go, glue spreader. You can use your finger, you can use a credit card, you know, plastic store card thingy that's been cut down, old paintbrush, doesn't matter, whatever takes your fancy. When I do workshops, it's the finger because I don't have enough glue spreaders for everybody. You can see I'm coming up the sides of that, the original gutter there. So that's, I'm going to, now remember the fabric goes all the way to the bottom. I should put my glue page under there so it can come off. The fabric's going to go, so we need to go there and also up there. Right, okay, and because it won't matter that that's not completely dry. Just make sure I've got the top and there's the top that way. And it's good to, this is why we only do the spine first. Make sure your pages are in there, they can come down a bit, you can see. Down a tad. Right. Let's give it a bit of a rub. That side, a bit of a rub. So I like to I just hold it with my hand. I don't worry about trying to use clips or anything. Get your fabric, your glue. To estimate that's around about there. We can come in and add more glue spreader. Wait, what now?
No, 2 o'clock. Tanya's just asked me to start at 4, but it's at 2:20.
That's okay. You can just say I've got the dentist at 2:20, and you know, I'll be there as I should be fine, but just in case. Yeah. Okay, so I've spread that glue out. I'm just going to use my fingers to press it down. I need a bit more up here. That's good. Right. Same for the other side. Let's come out about there. Okay.
I think I must be doing something wrong if they've called me in every day.
That's good.
Wear my wet clothes in case it runs over.
Good idea.
Sorry.
Oh, they're running late.
Tell them that I have to leave by 3:30. Normally not that long anyway.
Okay, so that's stuck down front and back, and it's looking good. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, now we've got these, and they are going to go like that. So you see a bit of fabric there, and this one will go here. And we have a bit of fabric on that side. So let's stick those down, shall we? I'm just going to leave that standing up so that the glue dries. You can use wet glue, you could use a glue stick, and you could also just use tape for your end papers. I might actually put tape around the edges, right on the very edge. So that way I know that I'm going to get the edges of the end paper are going to be stuck. I could use the tacky glue, but I'm just going to use my glue stick. Because it's just paper to paper, paper to paper, so it's not a problem. If I was using fabric or leather or something, then that could warrant a much heavier, stronger glue. Oh, cut my fingernails. No, they're not long enough. There we go. Okay, so this is not a directional paper, so I don't have to worry about which side is up or down. Just make sure that the 3 sides are even. And there we go. There's one. Side. Now, of course, if you want to use normal papers and not thick paper that is 200 or 300 GSM, this one is 200 GSM, the book I showed you at the beginning. This one is 300, so I can only have 2 pages per signature, so like which ends up being 4 pages per signature, because they're just too thick when they're folded. But if you're using normal writing paper or photocopy paper, you know, your 80 GSM, you could have probably almost, you could have up to 10, like so 5 pages folded in half to make 10 pages. Oh, nearly, this must be nearly finished. Yes, it is. Okay, let's squish you out of there. There we are. There's always so much glue left in the bottom of where the plastic windy uppy thingy is. I'm sure that's the official term, windy uppy thingy. Always have a palette knife on hand to get that last bit out. There we go. Done. So all I need to do is just, I think it's just slightly too long, so we'll just trim that just a tad. These aren't fabric scissors, so they're not cutting all that well, but that's okay. And then we'll fray that so it looks very cute. There we go. Now, the last thing, of course, is that I'm sure that Jennifer doesn't want her new watercolour book to be called The Inside Job, or does she?
It could be an inside job watercolouring in the book.
Oh, we're doing watercolour on the inside.
Yeah.
Nice. Would you still like some gold leaf on the...
That's a stupid question.
Okay, well, you need to go and find a stencil that you like, and I'll get the gold leaf.
Give me a second. Let me finish my tentacles.
Okay. So the more she uses this, the more that will come undone. Cute. Okay. So for those of you who are joining me for the workshop on the weekend, there we go. But before I finish the video, I'm going to show you how I did the gold leaf. Now, I did the gold leaf on this one. If I point out here, Jennifer's dust cover on this book, remember, was just stuck inside, but sometimes they're stuck to the cover, and then you use your heat tool, you get the sticky tape off, but you're still left with a shadow. So I've just done gold leaf all over it just to disguise it. Plus I took off the title and put a little bit on the edge of there, so you can see the sticky tape there again. And then I've just inked around the edge, unless I point it out, you don't really notice those dark sticky tape spots. Well, Jennifer's cover doesn't have that on there. The first page does have a nice fingerprint of mine. That's awesome.
What size?
Any size, honey. So, right. Hey guys, I'm back. So I just got out all of the bits and pieces to do some gold leafing on the cover. Jennifer's chosen, oh, I just got that. That was the stencil that I used on this book. And she's chosen this stencil, which is new and hasn't been used. And so I'm just going to, like I did on this one, just put it in random spots, because you know, don't need to fill up the whole thing. So maybe a bit in this corner. Right, so what do we need? We need, so we've got a sponge, or two different types of sponge. This is a, I think you're supposed to put it on a stick, and you know, those types of sponges. This is your makeup sponge. Either one of those would work. You can't do this with normal glue. You do need proper gold size. Okay, it is a glue, but it's, you can see in the bottle it's a lot more watery. And you put it on, and it is white when it goes on, and then when it dries clear, it's ready to put the size on. So what are we saying? I think over the brush. So it's about 5 to 10 minutes curing time, and once it changes colour from white to clear, you apply the metal leaf to the surface. Okay, so but you can, it says that you can put it on and you can leave it for approximately 10 to 12 hours. So if you did it and then you went away and went to play with the dog because he sidetracked you, that type of thing, it'd still be okay to come back. And it's also everything is just washed up with water immediately after use. Okay, so I'm going to get what are we going to get, Teddy? What do you think, little one? Oh, actually we can use I'm going to use this, that's the dust jacket from this book. It's got the plastic on it, because then I can just put a little blob and it'll be easy for me to go like that. I've got some gold leaf here, and that's a new pack there, just all gold. What I do with my gold leaf is I leave it, I've got this A4 container, and because it goes everywhere, of course, I leave all these little bits because you can actually use those and put them on. Sometimes if I'm doing something, I'll just push it down into that and it'll just pick up the bits and pieces. Right, so let's get gluing. So we'll glue this, and then I'll have to let it cure, and it goes everywhere, people. So we're going to do this. Be prepared. So you can see how runny that was when it came out. Which one do I want to use? I might use this because this has got some fine bits that I can get into. So where do we want to put it? Let's see. We'll go down here. Where do we want to go? Let's just start. Let's just not overthink it. So you can see I'm dipping it into the main bit, coming over to the edge so that I haven't got a super glob when I come on here. Now remember, you do have to wash your stencils straight away, because otherwise the glue is going to dry on it. that won't take very long, but I do need to go straight inside and wash my fingers and this stencil. Okay, it's all dried. Oh, still got a little bit. It's not quite white. Still not quite clear. I think it's more bubbles than anything. Took me ages to get everything off my hands, I have to tell you. Don't know if that'll go back in there. There we go. Go back in the rubbish. Okay. Like I said, I like to do it over this so that anything that is left, because brush, oh, I haven't got my brush brushed off, goes in there and I can reuse it. We have brush. Excellent. So this is just a cheap makeup brush from you know, for what is it, foundation or blush. It's good for getting everything off. And we want some tweezers. Now I like to use tweezers to put the gold leaf down. I'm going to start, that's the bit that's still a little bit white. What's that got there? Might even need a bit of gold leaf. Okay, taking that off. Lay that down on there. A gentle press. See all these little pieces? You can kind of patchwork them on to your stuff, and the excess will all get brushed off. So I know it looks like it's all stuck, but where there's no glue, it will all get brushed away. Which is why I'm not worried about bits that are overlapped, because they'll just get brushed back into my little box. Tricks. Right, this is a new one. I haven't tried this before, so pieces in its own little Egyptian paper to the front. Oh, okay, doesn't matter on this one. Sometimes they'll, you know, because it's only imitation, will have gold on the front and silver on the back. So if you don't use your fingers, it's a really good idea to actually wear gloves. Oops. So she says as she uses her fingers. Those white gloves that you can get for, I use them as my boxing glove units, but I use them for all sorts of things. Right, now because this one is, this gold leaf was, looks like it's been quite, this is going to look different front and back, which is good. You get to see, and this one here, it's got silver on the back. Yeah, I don't know if you can see on the back it's kind of silver. Oop. So I have to make sure that when I put it down, I put the gold, then the pieces. So I'll stick with these little ones. Oh, she tore it open, but the other end just. patience. So if you don't have patience, don't try this at all. These are a much better size to use, I have to say. Big one sort of seems to fly all over the place. Some is also a lot cheaper. They're both still imitation gold leaf there. Still can afford to have the real stuff, I say. And why would you on a watercolour book? Right, I don't know, I can't see anything. That's why you wear the gloves, because it does stick to your fingers. If it was real gold leaf, you'd also, your finger, the oil in your fingers would tarnish the gold. So, oops, okay, let us watch the magic. The magic of how to get yourself covered in gold leaf. Right. Just gently you start to brush it off. I think I need to use that one at the end. Let's use this one I think I used last time. Yeah, just needs that little bit more rough, the rough bristles. I'm going to take that off there, that's very hard to hold, and I'm going to bend the book back. I did say to Jennifer I wasn't sure how that particular stencil would go. You can see I'm being quite rough now to get off the bits that aren't adhered to the glue. Oh no, it's working quite well. Looks cute. These bits were the bits that I just sponged. You can get right in there and just see all of that. You can actually come back, and if you put use your finger and just put glue around the edge of something, you can come and, sorry I can't do this flat, so you have to just see sideways. There we go. How cool is that looking? You can tell the difference between the this one's more shiny, goldy. That's because they're different brands, but you know, it's okay. I think I like that. That's that smaller paper. I got it from Craft Online in Australia, and oh, it's Poppy Craft. Poppy, yeah, Poppy is the brand there. That's actually, I like that one. Looks good. This is your $2 brush from Cheap Shop. Gold flakes. It's like glitter. It'll be around for ages. Oh, see, that's the Poppy Craft one. That's nice. A lot. Yeah. Okay, it's good. You know, it's good to try different brands of ones. I mean, almost cheaper, but it looks really nice. So I'm really being quite heavy-handed with this brush. You can see. All over my clothes. I can feel it on my face. Awesome. Oh, that's right. This was the back, wasn't it? That was where it started to get a bit bubbly and spongy. I'm holding the bristles right down so that they get right in there. see? It's very sticky. Oh, you should see. Oh, no, let me show you my top. Like it's my old, it's covered in glue and right. Just call me Tinkerbell. Covered in fairy dust. Here we go, there you are. Probably not going to help all that much, but we'll get a bit of it off. So you don't have to gold leaf, of course you could emboss, and I think I'm going to have a shower to get that all off. Oh well, not seeing anyone today, so it's okay, except my family. Right, let's dry that off. Now my shirt's all dirty, might as well use that. Hey, it's already covered in gold leaf. Right, let's have a look. So you polish it then. I use a soft, no, that one's been wet, we won't use that one. Let's get a fresh one. And give it a burnish. That will help get off any of those last bits. Probably shouldn't have done that now that I see it. So I definitely like the Poppy Crafts one over this one, which I think is from Express It in Australia. Yeah. Right. Cool. Last. I'm going to use some of this metallic wax from Art Alchemy. This is the vintage gold, and I'm just going to go around the edges with my finger. A little bit at a time. Very cute. Okay, right, well, clean my hands a bit before I open the book up and get wax on the watercolour paper. Right. Okay, so there we go. One book ready for watercolouring. She said she wanted to keep the inside job, and we'll be able to, when this is all dry, Jennifer will be able to get the excess gold leaf glitter off the pages. It's everywhere. But very cute indeed. So one for Jennifer and one for me. That's our, with watercolour paper. Beautiful reuse of old book covers and a bit of fun with some gold leafing using the gold size gold leaf paper. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you stay well wherever you are, and I will see you next time.